You know, sometimes in life for some people, it's extremely hard for them to admit they're wrong, but I have no problem with it. And I'm just here to tell you straight up that I couldn't have been any more wrong about Jalen Suggs, and he is making me eat my words. I'm going to keep it 100. After I saw what he did tonight in his first Summer League game, he already proved a lot of people, including me, wrong. Going into the NBA draft and all throughout his career, I have never been on the Jalen Suggs hype train. It's not that I didn't think he was a good or great basketball player, I just thought people were overhyping him. A main reason I found it hard to believe in his hype is because he did play his college basketball at Gonzaga, and they're not playing the best of the best competition all the time. They did play a lot of good teams last year, but half of their games they were playing bums. At Gonzaga, he looked really good, he was efficient, and he was putting up solid numbers, but he wasn't doing it against top tier competition, so for me, that's why it was hard to jump on the hype train. And just because I didn't jump on the hype train, that doesn't mean I don't think he's a good basketball player. I do, and I even went as far as to saying I thought he was the best player on his team. And that's saying a lot because last year he had Corey Kispert, who was also a lottery pick, who many people thought he was the best player on the team, but every game I watched, Jalen Suggs was a star. If you want to go even farther, I thought Corey Kispert was only the third best player on the team. I thought Drew Timme, who was their center, he was a dominant force, especially in March Madness. Going into March Madness, Jalen Suggs was projected to go in the first round around 15 to 25, but after March Madness, his life changed. I will say this, even with me thinking he was overhyped at Gonzaga, what he did in March Madness, he was arguably one of the best players in the entire tournament. Every single time that Gonzaga needed a clutch play, a clutch bucket, it seems like he was the answer. He was the go-to guy in every big game and every big moment, and he was just a freshman. And how can we forget when he hit that half-court game-winning shot, and that's what cemented his college legacy and what, in my eyes and many other people's eyes, boosted him up the draft boards and where he got all the attention he got. You can say or believe what you want, but him hitting that one shot boosted his draft stock more than you'll ever believe. It didn't even happen too long ago, and I don't know if any of you remember this, but that is all I saw on SportsCenter and ESPN for the next 2 to 3 days. I literally couldn't even watch TV or go on Twitter or Instagram and not see it. After they lost in the championship game, the next goal in his mind and the next step was the NBA draft and that entire process. And then this is where everything got out of hand. I know some of y'all remember this because I made a couple videos talking about it. There was many mock drafts and many people who had Jalen Suggs going ahead of Jalen Green. I'm not even going to go over it again and tell you how I feel about that because that is utterly absurd, ridiculous, and whatever you want to say. I said a lot of different things about Jalen Green and Jalen Suggs when that whole debate was going on, but one thing I vividly remember is that I said the gap between them, it isn't even close. But after a couple of months, maybe it's closer than what I thought. Do I gotta say it? You know how I feel about Mr. Jalen Green. I love him. I love everything about him. I could go on and on. Anyways, tonight I cleared up my schedule and I made sure I was going to see Jalen Suggs and the Orlando Magic play. I wanted to see how he could perform against great and NBA talent. Yeah, we get it. You could dominate the college level, but can you dominate the NBA level? And oh yeah, real quick, before we even get into the game we're going to talk about and what happened, I need to make this very clear. We've been talking about the Summer League in the past couple of videos, and I know what some of y'all have been saying, how, Matt, you can't judge a player's career or say something or say you're right about them after just 1 or 2 Summer League games. And I see where you're coming from, but here's where I'm coming from. I'm on the same page as you. Summer League, it doesn't count, and nobody's going to remember these games in 3 to 4 months. But, at the same time, there's refs at these games, and they're treating it like a real game, and it's got to mean something. I'll try to put it into a better perspective for some of you. if you're in high school or you played high school basketball, you had summer camps where they didn't count, but you're still out there with a referee and your team is trying to win the games. So it's the same thing. Just because it's the summer league doesn't mean these players aren't going to go out there and give it their best, just like you would if you were in your summer league for high school. So therefore, we're going to talk about these games like they mean something, because if these players were doing really bad or really good, you would criticize them like it's a real good and a real legit game. So we're going to talk about them. So if you don't like it, you can leave. We're here to talk about these games because it's the only basketball stuff and really sports topic going on. What else are we supposed to watch on TV? Golf or bowling? I don't think so. With all that being said, let's get into the Orlando Magic versus the Golden State Warriors game that featured Jalen Suggs. This man came out of the gates hot. He hit a mid-range and a 3 right off the bat to give Orlando their first 5 points. You would think it's not that big of a deal because it's only 5 points, but it showed me that it doesn't matter where Jalen Suggs is playing at, he's going to be confident and he's not going to change his game, and he'll always be one of the alpha males on the team. Suggs showed me that he's a tremendous leader and he's not going to shy away from any moment. His 3-point shooting and his overall scoring ability was in full effect, and my favorite play from the night is when Orlando was setting up horns and the defenders went under the screen and he just pulled the 3. It wasn't a Damian Lillard or Steph Curry 3, but it showed me that he's not going to shy away from shooting 3s if they back away. Suggs isn't known for his 3-point shooting ability. Yeah, he's a good 3-point shooter, but he's not known for that. He's known for playmaking and getting to the rack. And come on now, you know we got to talk about it. When it was a tie ball game, 83-83, and it was looking like Golden State was going to take the lead on a 2-on-1 fast break, and he blocked it and basically stopped them from winning the game. And then to cap things off, Orlando won it in overtime. He hit another layup in overtime where it was goaltending, and then he hit another layup to seal the game, but that was pretty much all of his scoring. His overall stat line from the game was 24 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 blocks, went 9 for 22 from the field, and 3 for 6 on threes. If you're only looking at the stat line, you would think he didn't play all that well. He shot under 50% from the field, but I'm telling you, this was another example of you had to watch the game to see his greatness. He was easily, well, in my opinion, the best player on the court, and you could see his star power. He was comfortable, he had the offense under control, and he was hyping himself up a lot on the court. Once again, I want to bring this up. I know it's only the summer league, but this was a big step for him in my eyes because I didn't think he would do this already. I didn't think he was going to come into the NBA, even with it being the summer league, and shoot 20 shots in his first game. And I thought one of his biggest weaknesses at Gonzaga was the fact that he didn't shoot enough. When you see the 9 for 22, you say, yeah, he shot a lot. And you may say that's not a good thing, but to me, that's a great thing because it shows he's confident, and even when he's missing, he's going to continue to shoot. I thought Jalen Suggs played a solid game. Let's not get too high on him or not too low, but this is a good start. This video is not quite over yet because I want to talk about 2 more players and how they played in their summer league games, one being LiAngelo Ball's game tonight, and the other one being Scottie Barnes, who I followed up in high school, and I thought he was good and he should be getting way more attention. We'll talk about Scottie first. So he didn't play tonight, but he played 2 nights ago, and he had a great NBA debut and nobody gave him any love. Scottie is such a unique prospect because he's really tall, really athletic, and he can shoot, pass, play, make, and almost do everything that Cade Cunningham can do, but I'd say that Scottie is more athletic. And then 2, Scottie is a way better defender, and that's what he's really known for. In his debut for the Raptors, he had 18 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, shot 7 for 18 from the field, and had a plus-minus of 11. Let me tell you something. Ignore that 7 for 18. That may not look good, but his defense and everything he brings to the game, if he's missing shots, he's going to make up for it. He's a ferocious defender. He brings intensity, and He's a guy that you'd love to have on your team. The only knock on him going into the NBA was that people was scared of his shooting ability, but in his debut, he made mid-ranges and he even knocked down a three. Not too much more to say about Barnes' game. I did want to speak on it a little, but last but not least, let's talk about LiAngelo Ball. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this game because I think I'm going to dedicate a whole video to it tomorrow because it deserves it, but LiAngelo Ball and the Hornets played again, and I thought he had a solid performance. In 20 minutes played, he put up 10 points, had 5 rebounds, and went 4 for 8 from the field. Hear me out. If you're going by the stat line, he didn't play as good as he did in his first game. But if you were watching the games, you know that he looked just as good in this game as he did in his previous one. That's all I'm going to say because tomorrow we will be talking about what I saw in this game and what's going on, and I think it's kind of shady, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to try to upload that sometime tomorrow, but with all that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. If you're new to the channel, what are you doing? Join the family, hit that subscribe button, and leave a like for more, and as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.